everybody. My name is Mars. You can call me MG if you would like, and this is the third and final installment in my little vlog mini-series of my stay-at-home writing retreat that I'm doing. Honestly, I don't feel great right now. I said at the end of vlog number 2 that I might do some more reading and stuff after I ended the vlog. That didn't happen. I doom scrolled all last night and then went to bed and woke up feeling like trash. I did sleep in a little bit. My cats let me sleep in until about 7:30, and then I spent all morning going through my morning routine very, very slowly, which is why it's now 10 a.m. and I'm just coming to start this vlog, and all of the cars are going by because of course they are. Um yeah, I don't feel the best. I am reaching my limit in terms of being home alone, and it's not fun. I'm just very much someone who needs to be around people. And like I've been around people this past week. I've gone to work, I've hung out with friends a bunch, I'll be hanging out with friends again tonight, and that's great. But being home alone is just not my preferred situation. I really miss my boyfriend, and I am ready for him to come home. So, this last vlog is gonna be quite a bummer because he's not gonna be home till after I end this vlog. But we've still got 3 days to go, and I'm gonna get stuff done. The first of which is going to be editing the second vlog. So, I will get that get that done first. And while it is exporting and uploading and all of that, when I can't use my computer, I might read. I think I do want to finish reading The Dangers of Smoking in Bed by Mariana Enriquez because I have really been enjoying those stories, and I think it'd be nice to get a book finished. And then I can also do my journal spread for that and get some crafting done. I don't think it's gonna take me the full hour because I am off from work today, so my goals are for an hour. I don't think it's gonna take me the full hour to finish that book or to do my journal spread. So in that case, I will do other reading and other crafting. I also have laundry to put away because I wore my last work shirt yesterday and I just threw everything in the wash so that I didn't have to do it today, which, yay, glad I did something nice for myself, but now I have to put away those clothes. And then we'll see where we go from there. So stick around. I'm kind of winging it today. Like I said, I'm hanging out with some friends tonight. I think I mentioned this in the second vlog, but in my first vlog, I went with a group of friends to go see Bad Out of Hell, the musical, and it was a phenomenal time. And one of the friends I went with has another friend who is in a production of Rent locally, and today is their preview, I guess, for their actual shows this weekend, and my friend managed to get us tickets to go see this preview, so we're gonna get dinner and head over there, and it's gonna be a really fun time. But then I'm gonna get home so late, and I'll have to be at work tomorrow at 9 a.m. again. I was supposed to only do cake training for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so technically tomorrow I'm only scheduled 11 to 5, but I felt like garbage yesterday morning, so I didn't go to cake training, so I'll be going tomorrow instead to help out because we have so many cakes scheduled for pickup Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think because it's Mother's Day weekend, a lot of people are getting Mother's Day cakes, so we've got a bajillion cakes to finish, and I'll be going in early before my regular serving shift to help out with that as best I can. So yeah, I really don't know how this vlog is gonna go because I also will be at work 9 to 5 on Saturday. From 9 to 11 we have an all-store meeting, and then technically 10 to 5 is my shift because on Saturdays we clean the freezers, and I was scheduled to close on Saturday. But then the opening manager messaged me and was like, hey, I've got this thing, do you want to switch with me? So I did. And it's also good because then I'll be home when my boyfriend gets home in the evening. But also, now I'm like, when am I gonna do all of the things for the last day of my vlog? But we'll figure that out when we get there. For now, we're just going to focus on one thing at a time. And that first thing is going to be editing my retreat vlog number 2 and going from there. So I'm going to get that going, and I will see you in a little while. Okay, friends, it is already 12:45. Yikes. But I have finished editing and uploading my video, so that is ready to go live tomorrow morning. And during that time, I did do a little bit of scrolling, but I also finished reading The Dangers of Smoking in Bed. It took me 45 minutes to get through the last few stories, and I had a wonderful time with this collection. I thought every story was fabulous. My favorites were Our Lady of the Quarry and Where Are You, Dear Heart, I think is what it was called. But there was not a single disappointment in this collection. It was phenomenal. An amazing book. Definitely will be reading more from this author in the future. Then I also did I can actually show it to you, my journal spread for the book. Nothing fancy, just a little blurb. And that took me 12 minutes. So I've done 12 minutes of crafting today. We'll definitely be doing more. First, though, I'm going to have my lunch. I just have some taquitos that I put in the air fryer. And after that, I think I'm going to do some writing because I've got some thoughts on my story that I want to get down. So that is the plan. I currently have Sarah Cannon's May Notebook Challenge video pulled up, so I'll eat that. I will watch that while I eat and keep it on in the background while I do my writing, because it is quite a long video, but I really enjoy her Notebook Challenge videos, so it's a nice little treat today. I'm definitely feeling a lot better than I did this morning, which is always pleasant, always appreciated when my mental health isn't terrible all the time. But yeah, that is my plan for the foreseeable future, and I will check in with you when more things happen. It is now just past 2 p.m. and I am exhausted. I am like falling asleep in my chair, but I did manage my writing. I actually did an hour and 5 minutes of writing, and boy did that fly by. But I've done almost 2 full pages worth of stuff. So this section here that is kind of different is a list of Florence and the Machine song titles that I think would make good titles for my story. So we've got a column for ones that I think would make good book titles, ones that I think would make good chapter or section titles, and ones that I think could go either way depending on how the story goes. So I am taking my main inspiration for the story from a lot of Florence songs, and I feel like I want to honor that by naming things in my story after Florence songs. I mean, my main character is named Delilah after the Florence song. I don't know if I said that out loud. But yeah, my main character, I'm naming her Delilah after the Florence and the Machine song Delilah. So, there's that, but then also, like, books and sections of the book and chapters and things like that. So that was really fun. I then did more, like, backstory work for the characters, and I've also kind of figured out a bit of like series arc work. So this is called Seven Devils. I'm planning there to be 7 books, which is quite ambitious, but I think it fits. And it's going to be one series, like you can't like jump around, you read them in order, but it's going to be like books 1 and 2 go together, books 3 and 4 go together, books 5 and 6 go together, and then book 7 is like the finale that ends everything. And there's like a general like downward arc, then an upward arc in the next 2 books, and then a downward arc, and then the finale is another upward arc for our characters. and I've kind of figured out the main, not like beats, because that sounds like I've got a lot going on, but like the one or two things that separate each pairing from the other ones, and like kind of how they begin and then end. So, like a through line, kind of. And so that's pretty interesting. I'm really intrigued to see how I pull this off, but I'm having fun working on this project, so we're just gonna keep going with it. I am, however, like I said, very tired and very tempted to take a nap, but I feel like that would just mess with me more, so I'm going to do other things. I'm not sure if it'll be things for this vlog. I really don't feel like working on my scrapbooking craft. I do have other crafty things I could do, but I'm not sure I want to do them right now. We'll see. I've got a few more hours until I'm meeting up with my friends, so I've got time to figure it out. At the very least, I'll do 15 plus more minutes of reading to hit the hour worth of that goal. But yeah, I'm just gonna chill, and I'll let you know if I do any more things for this vlog. Hello friends, quick update. It is just after 5, so I'm going to be heading out the door soon, but I ended up reading The Stone Sky for a full hour. It was broken up a little bit. I did about half an hour, and then I stopped for a snack, and then I did another half an hour of reading, but still, an hour more of reading, so I blew that goal out of the water, which does, in my mind, make up for the fact that I'm not doing any more crafting today, but that's fine. So I am gonna go now hang out with some friends, get dinner, go see the show, and be back way too late for someone who will be waking up around 6 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah. But I do still want to wake up early enough to get stuff done before work. So that is what we are going to do. Hopefully that's the plan anyway, and if I end up sleeping in, then I end up sleeping in and I'll just do stuff after work. It's fine. But I will see you tomorrow. Hello friends, it is 7:48 p.m. and I have had a very long and tiring day. So I got home pretty late last night, like 10:45-ish, which considering I've been going to bed at like 9:30 p.m. this past week was pretty late. But I just did what I had to do, cleaned up the cat litter boxes, got my pajamas, all that sort of stuff, and went right to bed. Got up at 6:30 today, so I did get to sleep in 30 minutes, but yeah, still got up pretty early, did cakes for 2 hours, then we got our truck today, which is really weird because we usually get our trucks Mondays and Thursdays, but the Thursday truck came today for some reason, so I spent a good portion of my shift putting everything away. And thankfully, I had a really good team on. My Friday people are very good at what they do, and I trust them to just, like, do things on their own and not have to have me, like, constantly watching to make sure they're doing things correctly. They're pretty good at, like, correcting each other, and, like, what one person might still be struggling on, someone else knows very well. They're all pretty new, the people that I work with. They've all been working there. They all started around the same time, about a month ago. So like they're pretty much getting the swing of everything now, but yeah, I kind of just let them run the store while I put away everything from the truck, and it involved a lot of heavy boxes, including but not limited to 3 cases of bananas, each box being like this large, full of I think like 40 pounds of bananas each box. The case of pineapples is what really killed me though. That is giant cans that are, I believe, like 8 or 9 pounds each, and there are 6 of them in a case, and that was so annoying to like move around. Plus I have to move around all like the cases of sodas because they kind of just throw them anywhere, and I have to put them in a stack with like the older ones underneath so that when we put a new case in the fridge, it's the older ones. No, I put the newer ones underneath. Did I say newer or older? I don't know. It was a lot of heavy lifting. My thighs are so sore because I did a lot of like squatting to put things on shelves and like to pick things up. So that was my day. Then I came home, showered, watched the most recent episode of Taskmaster that went up, and then I did my writing. I did 37 minutes of writing. I did a little more research on some demons, some devils, but also I had a bit of an epiphany in the shower to like some element of the romance, but I say like romance in quotation marks because at that point it's not really a romance. It's fine. But essentially I'm having my characters be more friends with benefits, and then they get into the romance later on to be like a little bit more slow burn. But then I've also like just written out a bunch of things. My favorite note that I have here is Dell, my main character Delilah, does blank. I'm not going to tell you what that is now because that would be a major spoiler, but Dell does blank. Does she do it on her own or with the help of a devil? Does she get help from Day? Day is David, my secondary main character, and eventual love interest, and or the woman who raised her, who I haven't named yet, but I think I'm gonna go with Cassandra after a different Florence and the Machine song. Part of me wants to name her Florence, but I feel like that's a little too far, but Cassandra might work. And then I put one of her friends, maybe? Does she have friends? I think that's such a funny thing for me to have written. That's a lot of my notes here. Sometimes I do have like, this thing happens, but a lot of the time it's me going, maybe this, or this slight variation, or this slight variation, so that I can look over this later when I'm outlining and like narrow it down, you know? So I'm still having a very good time with this. Now though, I should have dinner. I probably should have eaten a little bit earlier because I don't want to eat too soon to going to bed because I don't want to upset my stomach, but I don't know. So I just didn't eat when I probably should have. So I'm gonna eat dinner, and then after dinner, do my reading. I'm going to continue reading The Stone Sky, being the only book that I'm currently in the middle of, hoping to finish this weekend so that I can start The Hobbit before it gets returned back on Libby, because I don't feel like waiting for it to come back around to me. If I have to place another hold again on it, that wouldn't be the end of the world. It would just be kind of annoying. So, yeah, I'm a little bit past halfway. I'm on page 216 out of 398. So, I have dinner. Probably gonna read for like the rest of the night. Don't know how long it's gonna be, but I will come back and tell you about it once I've actually done it. Hello friends, just a quick update. I read for 35 minutes. I'm now on page 249. So, chugging along nicely, and I am still enjoying this. I do think it might be my least favorite of the series, though, but in the same way that I felt about the Mistborn trilogy, where I really liked the third book, I loved the second, and I was obsessed with the first one. It feels like the same pattern, where I'm still having a very good time reading, and I'm loving the story, but my enjoyment level is going down ever so slightly with each installment. So, we'll see if that changes in the next, can I do math, 150 pages that I have left? But yeah, I'm very tired. I'm gonna do my journaling and go to bed. And I will see you tomorrow for the final day of this vlog and final day of this retreat. Yeah, see you then. friends. It is just about 8 a.m., and as you saw in the B-roll, I've been doing some writing. I did this tiny little piece at the end of the page, and then this much of brainstorming. Mostly, this was reading through more demons from my resources and pulling out a couple that I think might be useful to my story, because there's going to be a lot of demons slash devils, not even just mentioned, but like present in the story throughout the series. So that is a lot of work trying to find some, but I've pulled out a couple more. I also did a little bit more world building based on like the physical earth and then this demon realm and things like that. I've kind of been playing with that, figuring out what is fact about the setup of the universe and what is more relegated to like religion and beliefs and possible like interpretations of how the world is set up. So that's actually been pretty fun too. I also have a list of potential character names. I haven't yet assigned them to the different characters I have in my head, because I do have like Day has a sibling, and Dell has some friends from her job before we get into the whole meat of the story. Like characters I know exist, but I haven't yet decided which names go to which characters. So that is something I can play around with later. But I did get my 30 minutes of writing in this morning, and I would love to write for more time, but I now have to get ready for work because I've got that work meeting at 9 o'clock. Ooh, was not expecting that yawn to show up. But I've got a work meeting followed by my shift, and then my boyfriend is actually due to get home around the same time I get home from work. So obviously I'm going to be hanging out with him when he gets home, but also probably like give him some space to chill because he hasn't slept in a real bed in like a week because he's been camping all along this trip. But yeah, I don't know when I will get my reading in, but I will definitely be reading at some point today, and then I will come back and update you and close out this vlog. I feel like it goes without saying that I've abandoned the crafting for these past couple of days, and you know what? That's fine. The goal no longer served me, and by that I meant I had absolutely zero motivation to do crafting, so I didn't do any of it. Also, though, I kind of need to print out all of those pictures that I compiled before I can do more actual scrapbooky collaging. So I'm kind of like stalled out on that for a little bit. Yeah, good writing session this morning, and I'm looking forward to continuing to work on this story. It has felt a little bit less overwhelming since breaking down the series into parts, because while I am still working on things that affect the series as a whole, I know that when I go to do actual like plot work, I don't need to do 7 books at once. I can just do these first two, and then the next two, and the next two, and then the last one to tie it all together, even though I know things that happen in each of those different sections, if that makes sense. So, lots to look forward to, and I can't wait to get back to it, but for now, unfortunately, I must go to work. Okay, friends, terrible lighting, also awkward hand placement because that's where my work logo is, and you guys don't need to know where I work, but while getting dressed, I had the sudden thought of, is this series not single POV? Because if you had asked me literally 30 minutes ago, I would have been like, yeah, single POV. My hair is crazy right now. Anyway, if you had asked me, I would have been like, this is single POV, just from Dell's POV, that's it. But getting dressed, I'm like, holy shit, maybe Day does have some POV in this. Maybe not like an equal split, but a good chunk of it, like some scenes I'm thinking of, kind of make more sense to be from Day's POV instead of Dell. I have much to ponder, so this is the thing that I'm going to be thinking about for the next 8 hours of my job. So, wish me luck. Hello, friends. It is 7 p.m. It has been a very, very long day, but I arrived home almost exactly the same time my boyfriend got home from his trip, and so we've been hanging out for the past hour and a half, and now he wanted to go watch the Flyers game with his friends, and I am very much not in the mood for socializing after an 8-hour work shift, so I am not going, obviously. But my boyfriend very kindly did order me some dinner. So there's this Tibetan food place near us that's really good. So I have some fried rice, which is my favorite fried rice in the entire world from this place, and also some momo, which are like Tibetan dumplings. I can open this, I can show you. Hello? Or you can just see how awful I am at opening boxes. But I've got some momo. So I'm gonna sit here and eat my dinner and then do my 30 minutes of reading and then come back and close it out. But I just wanted to give you a little update how everything's going. I'm so happy my boyfriend is home. I really missed him, and I missed living with another person. I just am not the best at living on my own for very long. So I just get lonely. But yeah, I'm gonna eat dinner and then I'll do my reading and then I'll come back to talk to you guys again. Hello friends, it is now almost 8:30 p.m. and I've done a good chunk of reading. I now have less than 100 pages to go, and I do want to keep reading, but the next chapter is almost 40 pages long, and that is too much for me. I cannot handle that right now. So I am done reading for the night, and therefore done reading for this vlog. And yeah, I'm still enjoying this. There are some things that are happening that I'm not super psyched about, but I'm intrigued to see how it all plays out. Oh, I'm so tired. Ugh, it's been a long week. And next week is also going to be long because I'm off tomorrow. But then I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys or if I've just been telling everyone in my real life about it, but I told one of the other managers I would cover her Thursday shift because her prom is Friday and she's got a lot of schoolwork that she wants to get done before then because then everything is due like next Monday or Tuesday or whatever, and obviously she doesn't want to do schoolwork right after prom. So I'm off tomorrow and then working 6 days in a row. So that's on me. I guess that's on me for being a good person who wants to make other people's lives easier. But yeah, tomorrow is going to hopefully be a very good rest day for me. But that is neither here nor there. This writing retreat has been pretty successful, I would say. Did I hit all of my goals every single day? No, but I'm really not mad about it. I still think I made amazing progress. I wrote every single day except for one, which is fantastic. I am happy with the writing work that I've done and with the other work that I've done, the reading, the beta reading. Crafting left something to be desired, but that's fine. It's whatever. Yeah, I'm very happy with my progress this week. I'm also very happy that my boyfriend is home and I'm no longer here by myself. But that brings us to the end of this vlog and this vlog series. If you have enjoyed it, first of all though, thank you so much for sticking with me and kind of keeping me sane this week. I feel like these vlogs have given me something to focus on. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this vlog, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I will see you guys in the next one. Bye everyone.